Hello and welcome to the show. Now, certainly, if built correctly, the Alfa Romeo 33 can be an incredibly dominant race car. These things can be absolutely ballistically fast. However, the key to this is building them right. Certainly on Forza 6, it has got a hell of a lot tougher to tune and get one of these cars working properly. They are very quick, but tend to handle rather scarily. And I'm not going to be building this one sensibly. Of course, it is going for the silly car build treatment, which means it is going to get a lot, a real lot of power. And of course, no tuning, so how is it going to fare with the Ferrari Enzo V12? Yeah, it is going to be monstrously powerful, insanely light. I'm quite terrified of this car. I will be honest, 1,600 pounds. I mean, it's 100 pounds heavier than the standard engine, but that is still incredibly lightweight. It's probably going to get a little bit closer towards 2,000 pounds, perhaps after I finish putting on the upgrades. But we've still got a tremendous power to weight ratio, and the big problem with this car, take a look at the weight. That is the issue that we are potentially going to see. Now, I haven't driven this car too much in Forza 6. I think I used it for the low horsepower speed run. I did build one of these, which is why you may see some of the parts have already been purchased. However, aside from that, yeah, I don't know what this is going to be like coming to a corner, especially not when it's going to be travelling as fast as this. Relatively big rear tyres, 325s on the rear for putting the power down. 265 on the front are okay. I'd like bigger tyres, really, but it's more of the semi-wheeling that we are likely to see from this car. PI is going to be stupendous. Again, when you have the power to weight ratio that this car does, the PI is going to be incredible. But it's all going to come down to the control. That is the big concern, the big fear, and the big difficulty with driving a car like this one. You will notice, as we put on the race brakes, the suspension is technically already race suspension, but of course it will have the standard setup and whatnot on the car, which is pretty soft, which is less than ideal for 1,200 horsepower. But there we go. That is the difficulty of the cars for this series. Roll cage only adds 67 pounds, so we're still at 1,727, and we can take some more weight out of it. I'm actually quite surprised to see a race weight reduction available for a car that was essentially a race car. So 1,619. We will upgrade the turbos and the intercooler and so on. That will put some more weight back on, but we're probably going to see it about 1,700 pounds. With 1,200 horsepower, or near enough 1,200 horsepower. That's, yeah. There's very little that can really rival this in terms of power to weight ratio. Perhaps the Lotus 11. But the Lotus 11 has slightly better weight distribution. It's not ideal, and you see the difficulties with trying to control a high-powered Lotus 11. And this is even crazier. So, a little bit fearing for, well, trying to keep the car in one piece. It's likely to have an off, and you don't really have small offs in a car of this speed. That just doesn't really happen with a car that's going to be going as quickly as this one will. There we go, 1,661 pounds. We don't have an option for oil and cooling on this engine. I guess it's sort of fully upgraded when the engine goes in the car. After all, it's a Ferrari Enzo engine, pretty impressive engine. So there we go, 1,182 horsepower, 837 torque. In a very, very lightweight car, incredibly rear heavy. I hope you guys are ready for some terrifying cornering. So, of course, to test out the Alfa Romeo, I have brought it to the Virginia International Raceway, where it will have 5 laps around the Patriot alternate layout to go as quickly as possible. Now, PI-wise, this car is up there with the Toyota Nazca and the Bugatti Veyron. It's only the third vehicle into P-Class that has gone in this series. So, theoretically, it could potentially challenge the leaders. They're 107.0 and 107.2, respectively. The thing is, I doubt we're going to have the control in this car to challenge them. We may have a ridiculous straight line speed and acceleration, but through the corners, this is likely to be a real handful. So, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see time-wise. If I can keep the car out of the grass and off the walls, I think it would be doing relatively well. The rain might help us slightly by having generally less grip overall. Perhaps this car's tendency to wheelie might be a little bit better. Oh, we've also got stupid gear ratios. Okay, we're almost buzzing in the limiter having just set off. Now, rules of this series, while I'm not allowed to tune the cars, if they have stupid gear ratios, I am allowed to adjust them to make it fair, because I don't want a car like this buzzing in the limiter at 170 miles an hour. We will actually, that is really short. I think this is the first car in this, there we go, 230, whatever. This is the first car we've had in this series on Forza 6 that has had stupid gear ratios from standard. I don't think the Mini had, even the Mini, the 700 horsepower Mini had this kind of a gear ratio problem. So that is slightly peculiar, but there we go. So yeah, now we have got much longer, much more sensible gear ratios for this Alfa Romeo. Oh, it is scary driving it around these corners. The front end is just wanting to look at the sky, and where the windscreen wiper isn't clearing, the little bit at the bottom, is where I'm spending most of my time looking out because the car is too busy pointing upwards. That's not particularly helpful. I think we could do with a slight redesign on that one. Oh god, everything gets unhappy when you jump on the brakes. There is, it's carrying some half-decent quarter speed despite not even be a lap yet, but I can already tell this is going to be a car that you spend all of your time fighting. It's just permanently fighting. It's trying to do something. No, that was too much power. We've got to be careful out of that corner. Now, if I can deploy this power, this is going to be epically fast. Indeed it is. Oh, big moment. We're going to go round. I'm trying to keep it out of the grass so we don't roll the damn Alfa Romeo. There we go, under control. I meant to do that. That was that's how you do a 360 entry into a corner. Bloody hell. Let's not do that one again. Right, there is... Oh no, stop looking up at the sky. I want to see the road. I want to see where I'm aiming the car. That does generally help. I think puddles are not going to be my friend, so we're going to try and avoid them. Stop looking up at the sky again. There's something going on at every second of this lap. I don't think there is a point in this lap where the car isn't doing something terrifying. Either lack of grip, wheel spin, pointing up at the sky, or just generally fighting to keep it going in a straight line for whatever reason, whether it be that wheel spin or whether it be bumps, or now I can't really see very well. It's just constantly something to worry about. Puddles are also probably not going to be the car's friend, I imagine, while on the most part, it's not too bad around this layout. Puddles aren't actually too bad here. If you clip one of them at 180 miles an hour, you're going to have a really bad day. Okay, Alfa, let's see what you've got. We'll try and be a little bit smoother. Here we go. Can we get the mythical 200 miles an hour? Yes, we can. On the brakes now. Please slow down. Please slow down. Bloody hell, that is fast. Well, our first car to hit 200 miles an hour here at this layout of Virginia. That is ridiculous speed. Put that into context, the Bugatti Veyron, I tried to get the Veyron to 200 miles an hour. I think I might have done, but I crashed in. I couldn't slow it down, basically, for the first corner. I crashed into the wall. Oh, that puddle's nasty. I think the Veyron, in the end, on a sort of competitive run, was about 194, 195. This just did 205 miles an hour. The Veyron is four-wheel drive. You can go flat out of the final corner here with the Veyron all the way down to the first corner. This... you really can't. You really can't. I was only really going flat out. You can see the telemetry. I was only really going flat out right towards the end of that kind of straight after we got past the start-finish line. That's incredible speed from this Alfa Romeo. Really watch the wheel spin. No, fifth gear's not going to work. Sixth gear's good. Still wheel spin. Still wheel spin. Now we're coming up across the crest. Oh, there's a wheelie. 197 miles an hour as the car wheelies away. There's a 109.6 on that flying lap. Oh, this car is mad. This car is every bit as mad as I was kind of expecting it to be. I quite like it in a it's going to kill me at some point kind of a way. It's already tried once and I beat it at its own game. but I don't think I'm going to get quite as lucky the next time around. We're going quicker this lap around. I'm not quite sure how, but there we go. Don't stop wheeling, car. Please keep all 4 wheels on the ground at all time. I'm not actually sure if it's quite lifting the wheels up off the ground or whether it's just unloading them massively. Either way, it's not helping. When the wheels is unloaded as it is here, it's not going to be giving us any grip whatsoever. I'm just sliding my way through that corner. It is, maintaining decent speed through some of these turns. I think it's a case of it feels so terrifying that it actually feels quite slow. You're having to fight the car so much it feels quite slow, but in actual fact it's obviously not going that badly. If I did a 109, it can't be going that slowly. Now try and put that pad out. A 108.7. Come on Alfa Romeo. That's 205 miles an hour again as we get on the brakes for this final lap, and it will just about get stopped into the first corner. One of the big difficulties though with all of this suspension movement is that when you're turning whatever direction it might be, the car really doesn't want to stop turning that way at times. Oh no, we've understeered wide big time, wheel on the grass. This lap we were 0.6 of a second up as well this time around. Now we may still be able to save something out of this, but it's not going to be quite as quick as it was on 4. Let's see if we can be neater though. Oh, I've tried to be tried to turn in too soon, and that's not really worked through there. Yeah, we've probably lost it unless I can do something miraculous through this next section. I was pushing it that bit too hard, trying to find some more speed in the Alfa Romeo, and it did not quite come off as we head up towards this final corner. Really got to try and find. It's really difficult to see where to turn in for that final part because the way the car is lifting up and rearing, and with the poor windscreen wiper, we couldn't go quicker. Could not go quicker on that final lap. We were slightly up at the first stage. I got a mega first sector, but got caught out by some understeer. And once things start going wrong in this car, it's so bloody tough to save it. I am amazed we didn't die in that, quite frankly. We completed 5 laps with only a minor heart attack induced on the first one, hitting 205 miles an hour on the straight here though. That is a record that I don't think anything is going to beat. The Jaguar D-Type could only manage 180 down here. To do 205 and get stopped for turn 1 is incredible speed-wise. The control is utterly terrifying. There is none of it, pretty much, and its lap time is, well, more respectable than I thought it could be. The 108.7 will put the car into 5th place. It goes quicker than the Lotus Type 49, the Aston Martin Vanquish, the BMW M6. It does lose out to the Continental GT, the Hot Wheels Mustang, and it is, a fair bit down on the Veyron and the NASCAR. That Bentley is 4-wheel drive, had the almighty wing on it as well, and a similar amount of power. Yes, it is a hell of a lot heavier, but a lot more control in that Bentley, and for this Alfa to be that close, I think it's pretty good going from the 33. What a mad, mad car, and now I am going to try and find out just how quick it will go in a straight line. It may try and take off at Le Mans though. Now, the Alfa Romeo does certainly stand a chance of going very near the top of this speed run leaderboard. I'm not sure it's quite going to be. I'm not sure we've got the control to really fight with the Jaguar D-Type. I think the wheeling is probably not conducive to a good speed run, but nevertheless we will see. It's going to be quick and going to be scary as well. I do have real fears that this car will just want to take off, especially when it comes to the kink at the end of the straight. I don't think we're going to get turned. I think we're going straight in the wall at about 270 miles an hour. We will have to wait and see. It reckons 269.5 is about all we're going to do. Now that could be limited by the grip of the car. After all, this is the same engine in this car as we had in the Jaguar D-Type and the Ferrari 250 LM, the two cars that do top this leaderboard, and this has got to be as slippery a shape as they are, if not perhaps a little better. I think that possibly the front end lifting up is what's going to cause the issues. I have driven Lotus 11s down this straight. I have launched Lotus 11s unintentionally, trying to go silly speeds with them, because the front end will, well, in the low level they'll bounce across the, oh god, they'll bounce across the little bumps, and once the front end kind of starts going up, you've often had it, and that could well be the case with this car. We will have to wait and see. This is definitely nicer in the wet. It is definitely nicer in the wet. Having that slight bit less grip stops the car bucking around as much. The balance is, yeah, considerably nicer in the wet. Now, this is going to be quick. When we can get everything, when we can get the front wheels back on the ground. Okay, we are at 250 miles an hour as we make the corner, but I'm having to have a lift there because the car wanted to throw me at the sky. We're up to 250 already, 260 miles an hour. We are still... Oh, no, stop. We just got to 260 and stopped accelerating. That's peculiar. Hold on, I'm just going to extend these gear ratios. I don't think we're buzzing the limiter, but we got to 260 so fast. That's really weird. Like, I'm used to cars, you know, getting to like 240 and then, you know, struggling to keep accelerating. This has got to 269 and just, that's it. That's all it can do. That's really odd. Oh, 270. We got 270 out of it. That is the first car to ever beat the benchmark. Wow, we're already coming down to the kink at the end of the straight. Oh, we've already lost it. Oh, no. Don't go round. Keep it together. There we go. Well, that was an experience. I knew we were going to have problems there. God, that got down the straight quickly. This is as just ridiculous as I was kind of expecting it to be. That is a really weird... I guess it must be the drag from the front of the car lifting up. It hits 269 and smack into a brick wall, and it cannot go quicker than that. Okay, well, we did get 270. I think that's perhaps from bouncing downhill somewhere. That is ludicrous. It is just an absurd vehicle to try and keep under control. If you can, well, that acceleration is pretty much second to none. Once you've got the power down, there is nothing that accelerates like this car. Even the Jaguar D-Type, yeah, it's got 1 mile an hour quicker than this Alfa, but that doesn't accelerate in the same brutality that you get with the Alfa 33. It literally doesn't stop pulling until it hits 270, and then it does just completely stop. What a crazy vehicle this one is. I absolutely love it. It's straight line speed. As I said, we'll put the car into second place, 1 mile an hour down on the Jaguar D-Type. It does beat the 250 LM, though, by 2 miles an hour. Beats the Bugatti Veyron, the Porsche 550 Spider, the Chryslerless Rocket, sorry. Yeah, crazy car in a straight line. I was not quite expecting that level. I knew it was going to be quick. I knew it was going to be getting up to the 270 mile an hour mark. I wasn't quite expecting it to get to that so quickly. That is acceleration like just about nothing else. What a machine. However, that is going to be it for this video, guys. I highly recommend you go and have a go with one of these if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.